Hi, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel. So I want to tell you all about some of the awkward moments that I've been put in. Now here's the thing, I'm not an awkward person, so I don't get put in very many awkward situations. However, there have been a few moments where I have been put in awkward situations and they come to mind pretty quickly. It's like, phew, phew. So I'm going to tell you all some awkward moments that I've been put in that pertain to guys. So the first awkward story that I'm going to tell y'all is the time that I went over to a guy's house. So I was like 16 at the time, and I had been talking to this guy. Now I didn't personally know him, but I knew people that knew him, so I knew he was a real person. So he says, hey, come over to my house. Now that I'm older, I understand that that's like keyword for like let's fuck. But when I was younger, like 16, I was so naive still, so I did not get that. So I go over to his house and I walk in, and like it was like mid-July, so like second or third week of July. So like New Year's had been at the beginning of the month. So I walk in and this house is trashed. Now I'm not talking like, oh, a few things here, dust a couple of here, whatever. I'm talking trashed. It looked like somebody was partying all freaking week. Like it was so bad. And like I'm not a clean freak, but like I definitely like I grew up in a very clean house, so like when people come over, like it's very natural for me to be like, hey, like let's pick up and clean, because common courtesy, like nobody wants to come over to a dirty house. So I kind of like, oh, like damn, do you have a party? And he was like, oh no, like that's from New Year's. Okay I'm like, whatever. So then he's like, come on, we'll go to my room. I'm like, okay. So we go to his room, and when I say it was so weird, because his room was like very picked up, like really picked up, and he was like, oh, come on, like let's sit on the bed. And I was like, you really ain't sitting on the bed. I was like, oh, I'll sit in this chair. And he was okay. So we sit in the chair and we talk a little bit or whatever, and all of a sudden I notice there's this like giant plushy goldfish. Now, like, mind you, I have a body pillow, right? This is body pillow, right? This thing, I have one of those. I sleep with it every night. And when I was in high school, I slept with the pillow cuddled up next to me. However, he was 18 and I was 16, and he had a plush goldfish. I was like, I didn't really have words. I remember I was like, why do you have a goldfish? And he goes, so I can cuddle with it. What? I was like, okay, that's weird, but okay. So then I'm sitting there awkwardly at this point, because like now I kind of don't like really want to be here, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to be like rude and just leave, but Lord, I just want to leave. And so I turned the chair, because like I was sitting at his desk or something, and so I turned the chair, and there was like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, like they have those desks that have like cubbies above it. Well, that was kind of like what it was. And when I turned and I looked up, and I see needles, not like needles to like inject yourself with. Oh, hold up. I'm done. See you later, bye. I very quickly, he saw me see him, and he like started to stand up, and I was like, I gotta go, I'm sorry. Like, I can't, yeah. So I get up and I leave, and then later we were texting, and he was like, they're for my diabetes. I'm not a dumbass. You were shooting heroin or something. So the second story that I'm going to tell y'all is pretty short, and I think the rest of them are actually pretty short stories. But so the second one is I was 15. I had just started dating this guy. Where I went to high school before they like added on to it my senior year, we used to have like this giant like field of trees and stuff. It was December. This guy and I, he was like, hey, like let's go over there and make out. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? So we go over there and we maybe kissed for like 2 minutes, and then we hear and I froze. I was like, oh my god. So like obvious, and like when I say like 2 minutes, like it was only 2 minutes, but like homeboy like had his hands on my hips. Like we were like it was a little much now that I think back to it. So like we stopped and we turned, and it's the security guard. So he was like y'all know this is school property, right? And I was like, no, I didn't know. And then the guy I was dating, he was like sorry, and I was like sorry, and I'm like hiding behind him and shit, trying to like hide. And thankfully the guy that I was dating, he was like cool with the security guard, so like he didn't like get us in trouble or anything. But oh my god. And like let me tell you, I never ever again made out with him on school property. It didn't happen. He always wanted to, and I was like, we ain't doing this. I'm not part of this. The third story is actually just that I had to sit next to my ex-boyfriend at graduation. The same boyfriend that I got caught kissing by a security guard, mind you. Yeah, the entire graduation, it was the most awkward situation, because like we were trying like legitimately so hard not to touch. Like we literally like sat there and tried to not touch, and we didn't talk to each other. And then he almost fell, and I could not contain my laughter because I was so awkward already. It was just bad. It was all around a bad situation. The fourth awkward story that I'm gonna tell y'all is so like a year ago, I want to say it's been about a year now, maybe 6 months. I had started talking to this guy on Tinder. Yeah, okay. So I started talking to this guy on Tinder, and he's like, hey, like we should have dinner. And I was like, okay, sure. Since I had gotten off work just a little bit late, he had already gone to the restaurant, so like I didn't see him. So I get to the restaurant, he's already sitting down at a table. We sit, we have dinner, we have drinks, it's all good and merry, and he's like, hey, do you want to go to a bar with me? And I was like, sure, why not? Sure. Throw caution to the wind, Megan. We go to stand up, because I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna leave. You know, we're gonna leave, whatever. We go to stand up. And he's shorter than me. And, God, it makes me sound so shallow. I'm aware. We don't have to discuss it. I'm already short. That's the thing too, is I'm 5'4". So can you imagine me dating someone shorter than me? I can't. It's shallow, I'm aware. But what happened was so much worse, because when he stood up and I saw this, it was like deer in the headlights. Like I didn't know what to do, because like I'm not saying like you should like mention it to people, but like I know like personally, like if I'm talking to someone who looks like who look like they go to the gym a lot, or they're very active or whatever, I'm always like, hey, like I'm just giving you a heads up, like I'm not a skinny girl, like I am a little bit big. Because see, here's the thing, when you look at just like this part of my face, you can tell that like I take good selfies and I look skinny in them. But I go further back and you see my body and you're like, oh, she's got a few extra pounds times 20. Okay, so I was just blindsided like this, and I know it's so shallow to be like, oh my god, like I don't want to talk to him because he's short, but like I don't know. Alright, so the last one, which, oh, it's so bad, and I know it's so bad, and I don't know why I even... So, I went on a date with this guy from Tinder. but not the same guy that I just talked about. It was a different guy. And we go on a date, and he may or may not have grabbed my boob in the parking lot. Like, it was awkward. So we go on this date, we go to the restaurant. As we're leaving, I was standing there like, okay, I'll see you later, whatever, bye. He's like, do I get a hug? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll hug you, whatever. So like I hug him, and like totally out of left field, like not appropriate at all, like guys take notes, it's not appropriate to do this. He grabbed my boob in the parking lot in daylight. And do you want to know what's worse? I went on another date with him. I don't know why. Oh god. Yeah. Alright, so those are 5 things that have happened to me that are really awkward, that like pertain to guys. And it's funny because as I'm sitting here filming this video, I'm already thinking of more things that I've been put in. So I'm definitely going to make a part 2 of this video for y'all, because wow, I didn't realize how many awkward moments I've actually had. Leave an awkward moment down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also hit that red subscribe button right down below, and if you didn't know, you can hit the little bell next to it and get notified when I upload, which is like pretty cool, I think. Yeah. Anyways, I will see y'all next time.